What is up, guys? We are live. We are so back. Let's join an arena. Let's go. Got some new gambits that I'm hoping to try out on stream today that I'm excited to share with y'all. Alright. First game. Just message the Discord. It's Berserk. Let's get going. How is our stream set up today? What's up, Mirko? We've got a King's Gambit. We are counter-gambiting. This can't be smart. This is a strange move. I've seen a lot of stuff against my takes in c6, my Nimzovich counter-gambit. This is new. If I go here, I'm scared of like knight takes, king takes, check. Take my bishop. I think we're good, because I'm going to go queen d4. This might be beyond what my 1700 opponent is looking at. Queen h5. It's going to go g6. Okay, they go here. Queen d4. They have knight e3, so they won't lose immediately. This seems like, okay, it is their one developed piece. They've moved it a lot of times. I could trade everything, take, trade everything and try and hop around, but they just come back. I think what we're going to do is castle. So they are blocking here. It's not easy to unblock. If I play queen d4 now, I'd probably just see 3. I could target this. Maybe like, there's just g3. Alright, I'm just going to castle for now. But yeah, okay, maybe they found a way to hang on here. If bishop e2, my plan was knight d5, which asks some questions about this, but they can just castle out of it, so I'm not really sure what I was even thinking. So they're probably okay. Maybe I missed a better way to take advantage of that. That feels desperate. Unnecessary. I was going to use the d4 square, but it feels unnecessary. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm having trouble finding a square for my bishop, it's like queen d6, and maybe just rook d8. Well, castle is necessary. Maybe knight d5 to target it further. I don't want them to be able to develop here. Now it's going to be very tough. This is blocking the knight, and I'm not going to let that d-pawn move. It's going to be my goal. So castles. Yeah, let's play knight d5. Seems annoying using this pin also and targeting here, right? g3. I was just going to play bishop h3. Mr. Slugworthy, how are you? Do we have the chat bot going across? Yes, you can have a game with me. You may. Yeah, sure. Why don't I play viewers? Happy to do that. Mirko, Slugworthy, Felix, welcome everybody. I've switched it up, and I've put my monitor on my other side, so I'm still trying to get used to it. But before, so you see my mic is now coming from this side, as opposed to from this side. So because before it was blocking the monitor, I didn't want to have the mic from the same side as my mouse. So just getting used to new setups. This seems really good. Like, oh my god, that poor queen side. f5, f4, probably, are my next 2 moves. This should be played, I guess. And I've got a number of options. This feels like not clear how to not get checkmated. This is an idea. Get it out. It is an idea. I don't think I ever put my contact in right this morning. This is my only square that I can't get traded. Actually, I don't have access to d6 right now. Or b6 because of that. Don't want to get traded. b5 and I'll just come back here. I also like f4. I mean, not quite as good now that we're not pinning. So they're trying to get this out, but now they don't have knight a5 because they'll lose this after the trade. So they got to go there. Now bishop d6. So, okay, well, they are trying to arrange that trade. I can replace that knight if I want, but I want even more to play f4. Alright, well, let's replace it for now. Maybe pawn takes even? I think f4 might be really strong. If we can arrange it. Do have to be fast here. But yeah, f4, f3 is kind of extremely strong. And bishop takes h3 or f3 here. Check, I had this. So we're picking up at least a piece here. King takes even. I mean, it doesn't work. My bishop defends. So I'm up 2 pieces after this, but I didn't get to checkmate him. But all good. The attack was extremely strong. My opponent hung on, to their credit. Always better to delay losing than lose immediately. One of those annoying positions where it's like obviously extremely winning, but it's just harder to win right away. Give me 94. Give me the 94 fork. Oh, wow. I thought for sure they'd move at least the king or the rook there. Okay, GG. I'd be happy to play Mr. Mark Esserman. I have no idea how to get in touch with him. Why the buzz cut? You don't like it? I got a cut today. I typically get a cut like once every few weeks. This is what I do. I like it shorter. Is the chat box coming across here? Thank you, thank you. Oh, I see the problem. The chat box is like all the way at the back. Alright. Mark Esserman is the Smith-Morra guy. I do know him from that. I really like his style. I really like his style. I think it's pretty close to mine. Alright, this Petrov guy knows a lot of theory. He knows some theory. Okay, I think we're just developing like normal. We traded off for a good knight there. I think something I want that we were actually just talking about is f4, f5. This I'm willing to gambit, actually, would be interesting. I would make that trade, then I go check, force knight f7, bring my rook into e1, attack this. Yeah, ooh. Where are they at? Where are they at? Here we go. First Gambit glasses of the day wasn't even prepped. So queen e2 is an option if I want my pawn back right away. It's probably Stockfish's recommendation. Just trade, but then queen e7, and then I'd have to trade, and it's just even. So let's just go check instead. Let's keep this a gambit. Forces knight f7. Oh, they didn't... No, I don't want to win like that. Knight g6 wasn't possible because of takes, and they're still losing the piece. Knight f7, my plan was, like, rook e1, and then queen d7, I was thinking of bishop f5. I think it's really strong. Or even just take rook e1 there. But they get 2 rooks for the queen in that line. Here, I think we're just cleaning up everything. Rook's hanging as well. So, GG. Alright. Not much of a gambit when you're up a rook and a bishop. Run! Run! Oh. Queen e7. I mean, I could also go check and win another piece. Introducing the rook. I think this was strong. We can have a look at this real quick. This is strong. Wow, +3. Guys, +3. It had been played once. Look at this. This position's been reached 18 times. This was played one time, and it is one of the best moves, because this is a terrible move. Knight d4, it just offers f4, f5. I mean, what was better? I don't have that on. But yeah, takes. This is extremely strong. This is just winning. Here, he won. It was this line that I really liked. I think that the thing is that even though they got 2 rooks for the queen, it's like impossible to untangle yourself if you're black. You'll lose your knight if you castle, and you don't have g6. Actually, why? Maybe the issue is just like check, bishop c3. Like all this stuff is operating so well, and black's not really able to get out of there. Nice. Okay, GG. GG. Gambits forever, baby. Yeah, he knew some prep there, but then as soon as he got out of prep, I think it kind of went down a little bit for him. London Crusher? London Crusher 9000? Ooh, d5 is a schmancy move, as I understand it. I think the best move is b5. Trying to take some space here, stop c4. I think here, if you're white, one of the better moves is... This is okay. I think one of the better moves is... Do I want to take it? Probably not. Maybe? I'll play b4. I'll take that away from this knight. Feels like that's where the knight wanted to go. e4 is, I know, an interesting move. Just offering that trade. It's like, why would you trade a center pawn for a wing pawn? But it gives them, like, a lot of development. And then, you know, they can use that file. Like, just quick castle, quick development. I mean, that's how I'd play if I were white here. But trying to take... I just try to take London players out of their depth a little bit. You know, I just don't want to let them get their favorite structure. So now we're in a weird Benoni structure with, you know, the bishop f4 London. And it's not really clear, because it is weird, because I got this pawn here. Spent some time doing it just to deprive the knight of its favorite square in the battle for control here. And there's also no e4, importantly, right? So maybe I can trade, play d6, and then try to target it. That was an option. Perhaps I should have taken it more seriously. However, I did kind of think I was winning this pawn. Could just go knight c6, but then I'd give them an opportunity to play h3 and store their bishop there and then really hold that. And if they do hold that, I'm kind of screwed. Here I can now just play f6, force the trade on g3. Might be even better to do it this way. Let's play f6, though. Get that trade on g3, and then queen b6 and eat it, right? Do they play g4? Maybe. Okay, I guess not. Alright. Queen b6. Are you going anywhere? I don't think so. I just take it. This is my favorite idea, just pressuring these bishops, right? It's my favorite idea. Okay, yum. We got that pawn. That was the important thing there, or else it would have really been on our face and we couldn't have even developed around it, really. So, we got him, boys. Now we just need to play some good chess. So, what to do? I like this. And I'm even happy to go pawn takes here. Or actually, wait. No, I might have just given queen h5. Okay, let's go here. I think we gotta run this way. I'm a little scared of this stuff. Bishop should go right there. Alright, that's good. I'm happy to lock that down. That's where my king is. Happy to lock that down. Okay, you're running that way. Let's try to get where your king is now. That is not locked down, unlike the queen side. Should have tried, but like a3 seems tough to get in. Like I was even gonna maybe take that and go a2 and control that square. So it's not like they had an easy time opening this. I mean, that's why I was happy to run this way. What's up, guys? Ronan, Jose Raul Capablanca, nice username. Let's go g5, h4. Try and open this. h4, g4, right? You always got to watch out for the push-pass rule, as I call it. If you don't want pawns to trade, as you don't in front of your king, right? Not only do you lose defenders, but more importantly, you would open files. So I don't want to allow them to execute the push-pass rule, because they would just do it twice. So don't just be so naive. I got to do this the right way. If I play g4, hoping for a knight move and then h4 to force, you know, a trade, they would probably just put in my way as well. So that's not an easy solution either. Got to find something creative here. I think this might be strong. H4 and just give me that square. I think this is just like a really good square. It's kind of what I'm banking on. Is there anything actually good? Like they just go queen d3. I could win this e4 pawn. Take queen takes, and take e4. After an h4 and d4. I don't know what they were even thinking about there. Alright, let's do this. Well, I can just take that one, right? Alright, hit the rook, and I want that pawn too. Oh, didn't notice that. Okay, let's just make some moves. d5 here. Hopping around, are you? Try to open some things for myself. Queen takes rook d4. Seems good. Straighten this out a bit. Guard these that were hanging. Queen can come there as long as we don't get forked. Okay, now we're... Oh, queen is 6. I'll figure something out. Limited time. Just e5. I don't know what I'm doing. Yikes. This went not right at all. I just gave them another opportunity to find this. Alright, come on. We got this still. Knight d3, just rook takes d3. Queen e5, queen d6. Ah, why aren't I winning this? No, that was stupid. Now they can play... Oh, man. Am I winning? Wow, okay. That was a dirty win and very poorly executed on my part. Very poorly executed on my part. Alright. Alright. Okay. I promised I would take some challenges. What's up, guys? Have I ever played Sam Sevian? No. Although we were the same age growing up, and so I think it's actually kind of surprising. I don't recall ever actually playing him. Although, obviously, at a certain point, you know, I think our ratings were similar for a while, and then they weren't, right? Would I please explain the overall theory of the Bush-Gas Gambit? I think I'm missing something about it. Wow. Hopefully I... Oh, I was going to say hopefully I can hear. Instead... Okay, well this is going to be sort of a bush-gas transposition if they play... Well, it's now like a kind of Scotch game against my friend Mr. Slugworthy. I think d5 here. I'm trying to think. Takes or g8. I think that's a thing. So I'm not totally sure if it is. Knight e4. I mean, nothing else is good. Knight e4, queen 2, d5. Takes. Castles. It's kind of interesting. I think I have to play this. Okay, this seemed to have been expected. Check. I want to go here so I have rook e8. But that's just not doable, so let's go here. Unless I want to recapture, I don't think I do. I think I'd rather go rook g8. Can I go here? My opponent seems to be in some very good preparation. I want to just be able to castle. Jesus. What? Is this prep? Takes? What's the point? Rook d1? Takes? Ah. Well, I would get checkmated on d8. Takes rook d1. Takes castles so that it guards b1, right? Otherwise, if I don't, then 84. Takes rook d1. I guess I should give my queen, right? Takes, queen takes, knight c6. It's probably not the best. I still didn't even get out of the middle there. If I go somewhere else than a4, the other option was here, just castles. I didn't like that either. Queen f5, knight e4, knight d7. This can't be great. Alright, I think we're going to give our queen. Rook d1. The thing is, takes b2, there's just castles. And it seems really good. So... we have to give our queen here. Yeah, queen takes. And I was going to go here to d7, actually. Again, they're threatening checkmate. So they'll probably take here and give me g7. I don't imagine they can guard both. So we have a rook, a bishop, and hopefully a pawn for the queen. Maybe not. Takes, takes. We will have 0 pawns. Okay. And we still can't castle because of this. So I seem to have gotten out prepped, but I think accepting that at least was confusing, and I think it could have gone way quicker downhill if I just allowed this knight e4 thing. This seems like not a great choice, if I had to say. I think this was more important, and now I have a very strong pawn. You're also, by defending this, you are also granting me castle. Bishop is away. I'm not too scared. How are you ever going to hit me on g8? In the, like, it's annoying, obviously. It's very annoying. I wanted to use the g file also. But I feel like I can control b1 maybe faster than you can ever get me on g8. I think c3 now. Maybe I should push c3 myself right away instead of castling. c3. Well, what would I play? Knight e5? Do you play queen takes d8? No. No. Oh, wait. c3 is a terrible move. I just have bishop f5. Gives me... oh, it just gave me b1 right away. Just gave me b1 right away through that. I mean, I missed that as well. I thought c3 was a good choice, because it stopped my access via a2. Stopped my access via a2, but now... Okay, knight d2. Maybe I should have played knight e5. Knight d2, of course. Okay. Let's then play knight e5. Pinning that knight. So then let's say queen f3. Well, queen f3 is not playable, of course. Queen e2. I would have... That just takes... Queen 2, knight g4. Maybe I can get that guy to move and take this. Might be good. But yeah, I want to get that guy to move. Rook takes d2. You know, queen e2, rook takes d2. Bishop takes d2. Promote. I'm not winning anything because this will hang. So, queen e2, I'm going to start probably with knight g4. Bishop g5, I have f6. Seems the most logical choice. I do want to go here to keep everything on the table, but no, you can just promote. Very frustratingly. You can just promote and distract me. What is that awful smell? Okay. We're attacking here. What do you do? If you come back... So what's my biggest idea? Probably just trade in bishop d3. Take with a knight. I now also have rook takes d2. I'm gonna go here though. Queen g4, f5. Rook takes f5. Take, king over. We'll take, king over. Queen takes c5. Okay, wait. Let's play f5, yeah. So rook takes f5. I was maybe going to throw in this in. Rook f2 is check, but then I'll just step out of the way. And I think my bishops there are operating really well. Otherwise, if you don't take on f5, then I will take on f1, and then I'm also hitting the knight, and those are the two things stopping me from promoting. So I think actually all my pieces here are doing an excellent job. And I think we're going to get away with this, in spite of being tripped up really badly in the opening. Queen f4 takes... Check, king over. Check isn't so scary, is it? King takes... Knight takes f1 in that position, right? Queen f4. So by that logic, maybe I take here. Queen takes, and then bishop takes f1. Does that, which makes sense. But, so rook f2 check. It's a nice check, but then king b8. And white still has all their problems of this pin. Both bishops just doing a great job here. I think this is probably the safest. Maybe, no, maybe we just get out the way here. Pawn is in a very threatening position, and the bishop's just doing a great job. This way, and this way. And we're trying to get rid of that knight. I mean, I could have taken either one of those things. I think it both made sense, but just didn't want any counterplay. So I think now we're just able to eat everything. We'll give him some time. Yummy, yummy. And our pieces made it. They cleaned up. It was just because of the threat of this pawn, really. And that even against a very strong player. Good game. Okay, I gotta review this because I got pranked by a excellent gambit here in the opening, and it was only by a counter gambit of sacrificing my queen that we were able to not lose immediately. So, let's have a look. Good game, Slugworthy. You're playing really well even without the queen. I would have resigned way back. Don't resign. Okay, so this was interesting. So we have a Danish, but not quite, because knight f3 was played here. So, you know, depending on your persuasion, if you're a Petrov player, if you are just a normal king's pawn player, this was transposing into what you imagine as a Scotch. This is just, of course, the normal Scotch. This is the Scotch Gambit. And we had, so this is like the main position of the Scotch Gambit, where white here should not take the knight. Actually, it's actually really important, so I didn't really talk about this too much. In this situation, where the knight is hit, and there's kind of a bishop there, so in general, when knights get hit from center pawns, they want to go to the square the pawn was just controlling. So that pawn was controlling there. Knight almost needs that square. And if it doesn't have that square, as it doesn't here, it might not have any good squares. So you can imagine here, like after knight g4, like you could just get chased around. I don't think, or you are able to take it. But let's imagine here, and then you just get chased around. h6, that sucks. There can be a trade at some moment, which really ruins your structure. So that's not fun. Or here, actually, I overlooked the obvious. Takes and check with that defended from the queen. And then white here is winning a pawn, as well as making black's king quite unsafe after smart bishop sacrifice. So that's not an option. Knight e4 also not really an option. I think okay, you have one more square, but you don't have here even d5 because you can't recapture here due to the pin. So, whoops. So if you don't have that square, you might not have any good squares. So it's actually really important, though, that you know this counter punch with d5. This can come up, for example, even in this position, right? Black here has a very good move. It's d5, because these trades are often actually really good. It looks like maybe you damaged black's kingside pawns and kingside structure here, but black here is actually doing excellently with a great bishop pair with just here, just pieces coming out, castles, g-file, d-file. This is phenomenal and great. I could turn on the engine even. Wow, minus 1.4. So this is just great activity, and it's kind of the same sort of principle here in the main position of the Scotch Gambit, where white should not be taking, actually. In the game, it was a little different. My bishop was out here, and I couldn't recapture, right? So this pawn hung around. But white really should not be taking here, just bishop e6, queen comes out, maybe not d5, maybe d7, and castles. Great pawns, great bishop pair, rooks, everything excellent here, minus 2.3. Okay, wow, black's firing on all cylinders. So, not a good idea. The main line of the Scotch Gambit goes for white to actually dodge that, introducing the pin, and then they're able to get back their pawn this way, and then this is just dead equal, and there's a ton of theory, right? We had a little different situation, because I played it like a Bush Gas. So this is the Bush Gas Gambit with bishop c5, right? Offering the pawn here. Very well covered on my channel, of course. If your opponent is a Scotch player, though, and so it's like imagining this after knight c6, and probably imagining you to play knight c6 and transpose to the position where you would play bishop c5 next, like for example, this position, right? So main Scotch, and this is what they know, right? They're probably imagining that to transpose. What might happen is they play d4 here, you trade, and then knight f6, bishop, instead of knight c6, instead of just transposing. So this is actually a very good version for black, and actually quite dangerous, because now after here, castles, I've gotten a lot of people in this position. We're castling really quickly. We never played knight c6. We played bishop c5 instead. So we're castling quicker than we should, and what's going to happen is, so like, I don't know, they develop somehow, now rook e8, we're attacking this pawn really fast, before they're even able to castle. So how do you defend this? If something like f3, now we can play d5, and this is just great, because they can't take it because of the pin. They never got to castle. And so, yeah, the bishop can't develop to d3 either, because this knight was hanging. So just all sorts of great stuff here when you're able to castle so quickly and put a lot of pressure right there. Yeah, bishop d3, they can't block the queen's defense of the knight, is what I meant. So, fun stuff there. None of that is what happened in the game. Takes, this was my game against Slugworthy. Bishop c5, bishop c4 was played, knight f6. And here, yeah, so what I was imagining, I think, was something like castles, and, well, I don't even know. I was maybe going to take e4, maybe just going to castle myself, but this is going to be some sort of common position. e5 was played instead. Very interesting. I just got a comment from him. 11 rook d1 was prepped. I've won game in the Lee Chess database with Queen D5, but my opponent didn't play an AC3. So you knew that. You prepped very well for me. You prepped very, very well for me. Wait, so I'm excited to have a look at this knight sacrifice and my counter queen sacrifice, because you knew actually a game I had in the Lee Chess database. That's interesting. You had me. You totally had me. So, okay. E5, D5. This is still correct. I have the eval bar on here. You can see that swing. So D5 was played here. Takes is correct. So the thing is, if check, I can save my knight with something like knight f d7, or maybe even bishop d7. If you take here, I take here. Or knight f d7, probably better. And yeah, I mean, you still need to get this pawn back, and then maybe, you know, I'm able to castle safe and sound here, and there's some pressure there, so maybe not the most fun situation for white. What is more fun for white is take, and then throwing in this check on e2, I think is quite clever, because if you just take it, then I might be the one throwing in that check. Maybe not. Is king d2 playable? And rook e1 next? I don't know what. Let's turn on the line here. It is bishop e3, what a move. Just using the fact that you have this tempo to be able to collect next turn, right? Because if queen e2 is played, I would be very happy about that queen trade, right? I'd be very happy about that queen trade. I have no issues then with my king. White was about to castle safe and sound. No issues with my king there, and I'm probably going to get that pawn imminently, for example, bishop h6. And you're just seeing, like, I can even just play around this, you know, until the time comes. It's not really a big deal to get that out of the way. And eventually, maybe, like, my knight will wander to f5 or g4 and attack this and win this. So, in the meantime, I have great pawns. So, yeah, and then king f1, that would be a great thing to force as well. So, but bishop e3, nice move. So now, I still have to play rook g8. Obviously, I don't have time to take that bishop and allow them to make a queen. And now they're just able to collect that pawn really nicely. So, that was also playable. But anyway, queen 2, bishop e6, takes rook g8, and bishop g5. So now, here is the important moment where I slipped up and played this. How many games we got in the database? So queen d5, most people are falling into this. It looks like a really nice spot for your queen. What could possibly go wrong? Maybe looking at that, maybe looking at that, right? I'm excited to play takes g7 and cause some problems down here. However, white has this phenomenal move, which is... So, okay, the best move, though, was bishop e7. And then I guess just trade. Just trade. Well, then I'm probably losing this pawn. Can I play king takes? I can. King takes. Ooh. So, wow, you got to be prepared to do that. Just to hold this pawn. Maybe, hopefully, to get that. Some move here, queen e4. So, just wow. Wild line that you really got to know what you're doing. Interesting stuff. Because if I'm able to just kind of castle, that's great. That's great, because I got everything we talked about before, right? Bishop pair, strong pawns, and then eventually I'll crack open this g-file. But white can come with a flurry before I castle, and Slugworthy did. It is with that flurry was knight c3. Now my queen is hit, right? So I was thinking about something like, for example, if I just come back, then knight e4 I think is really brutal. Knight e4 I think is really brutal, because it hits this, and knight f6, look how juicy that is. Bishop e4, the c3, right? And now if we come back... Okay, well, I just made that hanging. What if we come back directly here? This is a tough bishop. It's much stronger on f6 than it is on h6, right? Because when it's on f6, first of all, it's really hard to attack. And knight e5 is the next turn. d4, I don't imagine I'm holding on to this pawn at all. It's cutting me from castling. Really, 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 really importantly, it's cutting me from castling. And now I'm just stuck here as, you know, everything just crashes down on the E and D files. And you saw how annoying potential mate threats on d8 could be. So that would be huge, and yeah, I can't just move my queen and allow knight e4 next, and access to that f6 square. Bishop b4, I was considering this, but yeah, long castles is even a possibility, just to get rid of it with the bishop, right? I can't take it with the pawn and open up the mate threats again on d8. Takes, pawn takes. Yeah, I mean, like, in theory, white's king is unsafe, but, like, theory isn't practice, guys. Like, it's only unsafe if you can attack it. It's only unsafe if you can actually attack it, and I feel like my king's more unsafe, with the d-file about to get busted open, and my queen and mate hanging along it, and my king's still stuck in the center of the board against the E and d-files open, and, by the way, I still haven't gotten rid of this pawn. That can also prove very dangerous. So not a fun situation there. I thought the most practical choice was just to give my queen, although you can see how much that swung the eval bar after I took. So takes... Rook d1 was played. Queen, I had no choice, and so this is just a +3 position. This is just a +3 position after queen takes d1, which is the correct recapture, because there's still mate hanging here, so I don't have time to do either of these things. I played here knight d7, which I thought better than knight c6 because, so pawn takes c3, yeah, I was talking about this during the game. Pawn takes c3, I think that was really important because c takes b2 gave me my main asset in the game, which was a very dangerous pawn. So I think that was very important to get rid of. I was going to play f6 probably. Maybe rook takes g7 first, but I really wanted to play f6. That was the point of me putting my knight here on d7 instead of on c6, so as to not get mated and support that. Now bishop h6 castles. Okay, at least, you know, I'm able to, like, move my pieces a little bit by getting out of the middle. I was going to maybe try to play knight g4, make that move, take g7, get something going here, but, you know, it is a queen. It is a queen and a perfectly safe king, and white here has no real troubles, and also, you know, this g7 pawn is still on the board. So, I think, yeah, pawn takes c3 was really important. Bishop h6 is still a big advantage for white. We're playing c takes b2, jumping at the opportunity, castles and castles long. So, now this is interesting, right? Because I have this pawn on b2, and I think white needs to be really, really careful. I don't think they have much margin for error right now. I'm threatening c3 to play bishop takes a2, right? So if you play something like rook e1, then I think after c3, this is extremely good for black. Like, do you really want to play queen b1? But then again, do you have a choice? Your other choice now is maybe rook takes e6. But yeah, my bishop's coming to a2, and then I'm supporting b1 right away, right? So that's tough. What white needed to, you know, you got to go full circle there. Okay, need to stop c3, which anchors this pawn and threatens bishop takes a2. But you can't play c3 yourself, right? Which is tough to realize. I didn't even realize that at first. Is because it opens this diagonal, and then now, you know, white's now tying down more pieces to the defense of the b1 square. Yeah, queen b1 yourself, like, you don't want to put that there, right? You just don't want to put that there. It's just not clear when you're coming out, if ever. And, you know, I have that route. I have that route, which, you know, I might just be rather unstoppable. You know, you need to get rid of this pawn to be able to threaten that pawn. That's not going to be so easy at all. So you don't want to do that. The best move is queen e1. So to keep me from getting on that diagonal or that diagonal, and to try to keep fighting against me coming out of there, I might play something like bishop f5, trying to keep causing problems. Trying to keep causing problems there. Attack c2. Okay, now... Oh, well, queen e1 threatens queen c3, right? Queen c3 defends everything. Rook holds b1, and then you can maybe try and attack that. So not obvious what to do. Knight b6 makes sense to hit counter queen c3 with knight a4, and it's just a battle. It's just a battle. If I could play knight a4 and c3, right? If I could play knight a4 c3, bishop takes a2, okay, that's what I'm trying to do. In the meantime, white's trying to do stuff. Bishop g5, bishop f6 is probably their main idea. Try and get that pawn. And it's kind of... It's a battle. It's a battle. So, but white should come out on top according to the engine. c3 was played, and now after bishop f5, I think this is tough. So knight d2 had to be played, or else b1 is winning material. And knight e5 was apparently a terrible choice, because of this move queen to h5, which is just a minor piece shish kebab. Look at all these guys hanging. Look at all these guys hanging. Wow. So the bishop holds the knight, and the knight holds this queening square. And Mrs. Queen causes lots of problems. Let me look at the chat. Queen d5 is more common at higher levels. That makes sense. Yeah, this is a very dangerous gambit. And we're going to have a look at the opening stuff one more time at the end of this. So queen h5 here. Yeah, what do you even do? You got to play bishop d3. Yum. Can I take this? Check. Why check? Why does that matter so much? Can't just take it right away? This is tough. You gotta go check and then take it? Check and then take it. You know why? Because there's queen f8, I think, in this position. There's queen f8 in this position. There's queen f8 in this position. If my king were still on c8, then I would have king d7. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. I mean, but that's very inhuman, right? Because, like, if you're playing here, king takes f1, I think that's also no good. Rook takes d2. Can you go check? Oh, you can't go check and take it, right? Check holds b1. But I am able to hold some material here, and I'm not losing the bishop because you need to hold b1 because I got rid of that knight. So what you need, right? Here's the issue, right? Takes, rook takes d2. If you now recapture, now I promote, check. My king's here. Oops. My king's here, not on b8, which is a crazy situation. So now king d7 to not lose immediately. Not even take. Not even take, I'll note. King d7, because if you take my rook now, this is checkmate. So, check, and then we can just run away, and I'm ahead of rook. I am ahead of rook. Engine's even giving like h3 in this position. What a position. What a position. We're finding a win here. Takes, check. And then here, king comes over and wins somehow. Wow. So, okay. That was the way to do it. Otherwise, bishop d3, takes, take here. If you just moved your rook, then just f6 holds the knight and saves everything. And then the pressure just remains. I'm going to try to get rid of that knight still. Bishop g6 is my next move. You know, I want to reintroduce rook takes d2 and b1, right? Engine's even recommending rook b1 just to give that rook, just to hold the blockade there. But yeah, wow, what a move here, including this check, just to drag the king to b8, so that in this insane line, you don't have queen f8 right now, right? Because rook d8, crazy. So in that insane line, you need this position to be winning due to this checkmate. If this pawn were on a6, white would be losing in this whole line because of king a7. But, you know, you drag them to b8 so that you have that checkmate idea. So then here, you have nothing better. You can't play rook takes d2. You have nothing better than just bishop e2. Now after queen b4, you're eliminating that. Wow. What a line. What a move there. Subtle queen f5 check, right? It's really important, right? Because, so, like, me, when I analyze, I try to, like, understand it a lot. I try to, like, really put it into English, right? Because, like, this is a line I didn't see in the game. And it's easy to just be like, oh, queen h5 is winning. Like, big number right here, right? But, you know, it's not obvious at all. There's one move that wins. It's queen f5 check. Why is that winning, right? This is how you become a better chess player, when you are able to explain in English why the engine is saying what it is and is recommending what it is, and why that is, in particular, better than what you did in the game, so that you can learn from that for next time. All right, so that's what we try to do. So try to play around with the engine. What's the difference between this line and this line? Okay, let me compare this line with the king on c8. Let me compare this line with the king on b8, and see what it's saying. Where is that deviating? What's the important line there? What's the explanation? So that is how you become a better chess player. So I absolutely encourage you guys to really do that with your own games. I think that's really the #1 way to improve. So knight d2 is played here, knight e5. Queen e2, absolutely cannot blame him for queen e2. Yeah, so I wanted to put a rook on e8, but I wasn't sure which one. If I put this one, there was still g8 queen as an annoying resource that can distract me at any moment. So I can't allow that. Rook d8, I was considering this, but I thought this pressure was quite important. But this is still really strong. Bishop d3 on the table still. Knight g4, attacking the queen, attacking the knight on the table. And of course, that pawn is still doing that pawn things. Queen e2, though, I played knight g4 immediately, attacking here. Bishop g5, I had f6 was going to be my idea. Just f6, just parry that a little bit. I don't have bishop d3 because this is going to come with check, but I still want to put pressure here. Probably, first things first, eliminate that pawn, and then shift that along to either e7 or d7 and keep that pressure up. Yeah, the knight can't move, right? There's no knight takes c4 because of b1 at any moment. So I think this was looking good at this point. Bishop e3 was played, takes, and bishop d3, and now these bishops are just doing excellent stuff. Just excellent stuff. Queen g4, f5, and this looks good. Because, yeah, queen f3, we're able to take it. Takes f5, king b8. Just looking at this one in the game, right? Queen takes c5. You just got to be a little careful that you have this one resource, rook to d8, coming back. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is all quite strong here. Queen b1, we're able to defend it. And the pawn stays strong, and we don't get back rank checkmated. Pawn stays strong, and, you know, at a certain point, white is just going to run out of resources. You know, if they only have the queen and we're able to defend it, then they're not going to be able to eliminate it, right? So in the game, rook takes f5 was a good choice, but bishop takes e3 I think was actually, yeah, very important, because I think if you just take here, then, okay, well, maybe it's still winning. But you got to be careful. I don't know. Don't get checkmated on the back rank with queen f8. So in the game, rook takes f5, bishop takes e3. Rook f2 check would have been nice, but just really for one move, and the bishops are still really dominating here. King h1, we just step out of the way with king b8. I think that was a safe resource. And then I think we're just taking lots of stuff. So GG. Let's have one more look here. Yeah, so this is quite interesting, right? Because knight c6, I think you can still... Well, of course, you can still play a Goring, which I totally recommend, more than a simple Scotch gambit, of which case all Scotch players really know what they're doing here. Engine says bishop takes f2, but... in case you're not getting that, and there's another group of people that you can play this against, and that's Petrov players, right? So Petrov players, even if you're playing knight f3 on the second move, will, you know, you can get this position, and might be playing bishop c5 here, I don't know. Or they're probably not. You can get an Urasov gambit here with queen takes d4. Or otherwise it's just transposing you a Scotch gambit. But this is kind of a niche position where there's no knight c6 and we're getting e5 really quickly. So, yeah, very good prep against me. Engine says bishop takes f2 or rook d5 instead of f6. Oh, in that line with bishop g5, I got you. Yeah, so here, but yeah, you gotta be careful. Bishop e7 will be the main theory, and king takes e7, rather than queen d5 and walking right into this knight c3. So, GG, Mr. Slugworthy. Thanks so much for the game. And thanks so much for showing me this line. I gotta watch out for against the Bushcast Gambit. Alright. Next game. What's up, Tim? Desert Lightning? The 2 pawns gambit variation in the Goring Gambit, and your analysis shows me knight c3 is a better check blocker than knight d2. That is true. That is true. Okay, okay. Let's join a new arena. WSOP, WSOP. You think this guy likes poker? Should we play Budapest or should we play Grafe Benko? We now have 2 options here in our Gambit repertoire. We now have 2 options. Let's go with this one. B3. B3. Not a great choice. I think we will just play G6 and bring this here. Yeah, remember, our threat with b5 is never really to play pawn takes c4, but rather, because even pawn takes c4, the best choice is e4 and to recapture, and they're doing great. But really, it's the point of going b4 at some moment that frustrates them so. Just castle here, got some pressure. Play e6 now. Let's try and chip away at this center while their king is uncastled. e4, then maybe we can use that e-file. Yes, like I said. Yes, yes, yes. b4. e4. Knight takes e4. It is not quite working. Alright. Not to worry, we'll just take here. Perhaps knight take... No, knight takes knight e4, right? So this is good. What I wanted was my bishop coming here. But I think, so like knight a4, I was maybe going to go check or keep bishop e2 and queen e7, just to really stop that castle. Just to really stop that castle. So now castles, I would take it and just be winning. So I don't even have time for d6. Don't even have time for it. They could play d6 themselves. Ah, that's annoying, isn't it? Oh, they missed it. They missed it. Now knight b6, I have bishop f5. I think, yeah, knight b6 was a good move. This seems annoying. No bishop d3, which I think they really wanted to play. Because now I can take it. And if h3, I'll just trade. And you have to take with the pawn to not lose your rook. think I might be spending a little too much time, but seems fun. 84 is also another annoying move, targeting an unprotected point. Knight bishop f1, or knight 4 rook f1 rather. Oh yeah, this is good. This is, yeah, how do you not lose there? Queen e3, but then still trade and knight c3 check is what I was thinking. If rook f1, I can trade knight c3 check and I'm winning the bishop. I just have so much on it. Queen e3. Oh, but now I just win the queen. You can't do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think it might be safest to just kind of do this. Give the queen back. I'm up a rook. Oh no, I'm only up an exchange. Whoops, I can't count. Alright, it's okay. Certainly still winning. And I think overall, some pretty good technique. And I'm even willing to play rook takes e3 here. Because just being up a pawn and king pawn endgame is very solidly winning. Up 2 pawns doesn't hurt. H4. Yeah, just up 1 pawn and king pawn endgame is all you need. Distract you, just to gain 1 extra tempo in my route to b2. So that, you know, it'll take them a little while to get here. Now 1 move longer. Yum. Yeah, I think this was a good game. Out of the Grave Benko, we didn't let them castle. Right? Somehow this keeps happening to my opponents. They're never able to castle. What's going on? Tough. But yeah, we, what was I going to say? We put a lot of pressure on the e-file really quickly, right? Here, Grave Benko Gambit, right? Hit him with b5. The idea being that if they take, this is what we want most of all, e6. So the main line is here with takes, and then, you know, we take a huge center and chase this knight around, which we really love to do, which is, you know, all this is very well covered in the video. There's a lot of ways white can go wrong here, such as d6, where we have, you know, lots of really fun lines like check, and this one, for instance, is one of my favorites. Rook a6 is just a great move here, and black is doing very well. But yeah, so many fun lines covered in the video. b3 is not a great move. b3 is not a great move by any stretch, because even if white, like, does nothing, not that knight f3 is nothing, but we don't want to take this. e4, actually, and they're doing great after recapturing. The point of b5, why do I keep hitting the down arrow key? The point of b5, more than anything, is to play b4 to distract this knight. So fortifying c4 is absolutely not necessary. And so now we're trying to take advantage of this weakness. Queen c2 is a good move. Queen c2 is a good move because it stops what is probably my main idea here, potentially with knight e4. You know, taking advantage of this and all this hanging b4, queen a5, things I want to take advantage of. Queen c2 covers, you know, lots of important squares, so I'm not winning right away by any stretch. But this was maybe a little ambitious. So they could castle, in which case they do get to castle, but we already maybe have an attack brewing on that side of the board. But they played it ambitiously, trying to play e4 and get out of their way, the center that way, and trying to hold this all together. However, we just need to not let that happen. These are 2 moves that I just don't want to let happen. So I'm trying to take advantage of the e-file as quickly as I can. So I'm playing here e takes d5. And yeah, knight takes d5 was recommended, even though I think this is losing a pawn. They're just saying, like, oh yeah, just gambit. Just gambit. This is good for just gambit. They're saying just put on the gambit glasses here. White is down a pawn. Knight takes d5. I shouldn't even accept this. Knight takes e4. To be clear, right, they can't take this because of rook e8, I think. Knight e5, knight c6. Yeah, I mean, this is just too much pressure here. The king's still in the middle. But just give me the pawn. Castle yourself. Now the knight is hit. Now they've got all sorts of stuff brewing with that there. Wow, that's always the answer. Just sacrifice the pawn. Just sacrifice the pawn for the activity. That's the answer. Yeah, the issue here that they're having, though, is CD5, right? We were talking about this, B4. And now hitting all this, knight A4 and knight takes E4. So I'm winning this. They're coupled with B4 and their king still being in the center. I'm able to distract the knight from the defense over here. And now after something like trade, they still can't take here, right? Because of rook E8. And, we're winning this way. So we're able to win the pawn like that. That's the idea. So that's why they had to play E takes D5, so that the knight isn't defending anything important. But now I play here B4, chasing that knight. Knight A4, check. So it's saying D6. Okay, I could just enjoy my nice position like this, but I played this really ambitiously with rook E8 and queen E7, which actually was not the best. So best here was just D6. It's saying castles. And, well, here's bishop D3. It's saying, like, this is just really nice. Just rook E1 and just forcing them to have to do that. Okay. Alright, I'll take your word for it, Mr. Fish. What I tried to do, I think even better, though, was D6, bishop E2, bishop F5. So now they don't really have bishop D3, right? Because they'd have to waste a move, and then I have check. Oh, so they don't really... Maybe the issue is they don't really have a square. Like, queen D2, I have knight E4. Queen D1... Okay, it's obsessed with this. It's obsessed with this. What? Why? I think maybe, like, queen A5, and this is coming here. Alright, I'm just gonna see. Give me a move. It's here. Give me another move. It's here. Give me one more move. It's here. Give me one more move. Alright, I don't know. It just likes the position. What can I say? Yeah, I think the knights have some good squares. And these pawns are weak, right? So we ruin that structure, and these pawns are able to be attacked. You know what? That's something I didn't know. That's something I didn't know. This is that good. It is that good to take on A4 and to disrupt these and make those weak. So chase the knight to A4. That's an idea. Chase the knight to A4, get it, and then just play around that. Trade off these dark square bishops and hop around with your knights and attack these pawns. Okay. If you say so. That's not what I was thinking about during the game. What I was thinking about was queen E7, and yeah, I did miss knight B6, as I said at the time. Queen E7, so I'm trying to hit the bishop. Right, so here's the main idea. If you ever can, right, this is the key to castling and stopping castling. Hit that pin piece, right? So they can shield a check once, attack it one more time real quick, so that now they can't castle, right, because of takes. And you should be aware, for example, let's say like this was the position. Let's say this was the position, right? And it was white's move. They would have something here like rook E1, attacking the queen. And if you don't have like queen takes E1 and like checkmate, then your queen is attacked. And often if this is hanging. Right, so takes, like, check. Even worse if it's checkmate. But if it's just check here, you just lost. They took a rook and a queen, and you took a bishop and a queen. So you just lost a rook for a bishop there. So not good. Now, in this position, it was totally fine because not only is their queen not defended, but even if it were defended, here, right, remember I just took a bishop, my rook is defended by the knight as well. So all good there. They're not able to get away with that resource, which you should keep in mind. So my opponent played the rather desperate king d1 just to step out of the pin and try to put the rook there. So king d1 was the only way to step out of the pin with the king still holding defense there. That was not necessary because the best way to relieve pressure here was this resource knight b6 that my queen just left the defense of. Knight b6, forking here and here. I don't have bishop f5 because I didn't spend a tempo on d6 yet. And now after rook moves, takes, and my rook unfortunately gets distracted recapturing, and now they're able to get in castle, and now if you attack the bishop, they're gonna sort everything out and be totally fine. Fortunately, my opponent missed that, right? So best was just d6. Fortunately, my opponent missed that. I lost contact here. They played king d1, and now d6 is totally fine, because knight b6 is no longer a problem. Bishop f5, I'm able to play with tempo on the queen, and play rook a7 next turn, and the knight's gonna have nothing better to do very soon than just to run back home, and we got all sorts of good stuff cooking in this position. King d1, so I just play d6, they play rook e1, and now I really, really like this next move, actually. I really, really like this next move. I think this was actually really important, and without it, I might not even have an advantage. Knight b6 is really annoying, first of all, I will say. The idea of them taking that bishop, it is my light square bishop with kind of my dark square pawns. I kind of really like this guy. Is really frustrating. It's also like the worst piece on the board. It's just jammed against the edge. It has this one square that can jump into the game. We work so hard to be able to play b4 to get it completely out of the game. If I just played knight d7 to stop that, though, then something like bishop d3, and I think here white's just totally fine. Yeah, they're like totally fine. Like I'm playing queen d8, They can just trade. They'll probably play king d2, shift that in, and make a castle for themselves. So, you know, this isn't even that good. And bishop f5, the most obvious move on the board, again, just bishop d3, they're defending here, hitting the queen. I don't even have rook coordination yet because I didn't get my queenside development in. So, you know, I don't know. I'm going to have to maybe trade and then move this. And then they're just, oh, not there, knight b6. Not there, knight b6, so queen d8, right? They're just trading, and then the king's stepping up, and they're shifting into the game, and this isn't so bad, right? Why is it so bad? It's really important to not let them untangle themselves. Bishop d3 is a really important move for them to be able to make that trade on the e-line, step up, and get everything into the game. They're actually really on the verge of untangling themselves, unless you play this one move, and it's not quite knight e4 either, because bishop d3, that has the defense. Even though after king d1, you would do well to make note immediately of unprotected things in your opponent's position, which is that pawn, as soon as the king left the defense of it, which we took advantage of momentarily. But rook e1, bishop g4. I think this is a really, really important move, bishop g4, because it stops bishop d3. Checkmate in 1, due to that pin. So I actually did spend, you know, you see I have 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock there, and I go down to 48 seconds, but I think that was worth it, because now it's literally recommending rook f1 in this position, just to be able to move your bishop. Just to be able to move your bishop. So that, you know, that's not fun. And yeah, h3, not really helping, because takes you have to take with the pawn, because yeah, this isn't defended. And you're not able to step up king d2 yet, because it's a different scenario than the one we were looking at before. Yeah, there's an 84 check. So, not a fun situation. Knight h4, I guess, was another idea to try to free yourself a little bit. Still, you're not threatening to take me because of that pin, and I could still, you know, even just play knight d7 here and play around that. In the game, queen d3 was played, and now I really like this. Queen d3, I think, because they wanted to maybe have queen takes f3. I think queen d3 also, you know, you don't have king c2, I have bishop f5, so I'm not really so sure. But yeah, I think this next move was also quite important, because they are, again, you know, if you're just kind of doing nothing, and not that anything's wrong with knight d7, but if you're kind of doing nothing, then yeah, maybe like knight h4, and, you know, if they have some trades here, then they're doing fine. They're doing fine. You know, if they are able to make some trades here, there's no longer an advantage for black at all, and, you know, you're no longer winning. So, important to keep your foot on the gas pedal, and that's when we revisit our old friend, the unprotected f2 pawn. Our old friend, unprotected things. So knight to e4, I think, was another very important move here. And now with the hit on f2, this becomes really overwhelming for white, because that's a fork, right? So my opponent, you know, just kind of hung their queen in the game. So that worked out well. But I think it's completely winning you know, even if not. So rook f1, I think, is the most obvious way to defend f2. But now we're combining many different resources. We're also using the fact that we have this pawn all the way up the board. Takes, and knight c3 we have access to, winning this bishop here. We are hitting it a number of times. So we're winning like that. Queen e3, I was probably, I don't have the engine on anymore, but I think takes a knight c3 anyway. King d2, and then I think it's just sliding out the way. Am I crazy? Yeah, this is winning. Queen f8. It's saying queen takes e8. That's a good sign. Rook e4, geez. Queen g3. Queen h6 check. Resources all over the board. Resources all over the board when you can keep your opponent's king in the middle and your pieces are looking that good. And we haven't even talked about using our last two, which we really should. Which we really should. But, you know, can we give a good example of that? H6. Oh, no, I think we're just chasing this queen. Here, okay, here finally we gave a good example of that with knight d7. So, but yeah, that's another nice resource, right? That I like all the time. You know, if like a queen's there against a queen and rook, you know, you can just be like, hello, welcome to my little friend that was hanging out behind me. And now please run away. So anyway, knight e4, hitting f2, and there's not really a good way to deal with this. In fact, bishop takes g7 was the best move on the board. It was the best move on the board. Takes and giving the queen. So that's how dire the situation was. And you know, this is just a very simple way to win. You know, like, yes, I could play queen d8 and allow, you know, more nonsense with bishop f6 and have to deal with this. Yeah, even now it's telling me to give my queen. Because, like, yeah, you don't let them have all these pieces hanging out here, right? The rook can come here. Like, you're just up material. Just get to an endgame that you know you can win. Just get to an endgame you know you can win. King takes g7. Just winning the game is winning the game, right? So keep it simple. Keep it simple. You know, I'm up a lot of material. I'm happy to sacrifice my bishop, my queen for a bishop and rook that were otherwise maybe a little bit dangerous to me, especially with not much time on the clock here. I'm down to 30 seconds. Anyway, in the game, yeah, so I'm just trading stuff, and so we clinch this endgame. Let's talk a little bit more about the opening. And yeah, just get to a position you know you can win. Just get to a position you know you can win, and with an extra pawn and a king and pawn endgame, that is a win 100% of the time. barring, you know, concrete circumstances such as, like, you can't create a pass pawn, or there is a pass pawn that is going to promote against you. So, yeah. So yeah, the Grafe Benko Gambit. It is with a6 first. What's the point? If you just kind of play it like a regular Benko, then you're going to get a regular Benko. Whereas this is the position that we want out of the Benko. So why do we do it? Why don't we just play a6 now? It's because the answer is a4 here. Actually just shuts down this entirely with that pin. And so even though not many people are playing a4, it's a very good move. Here, you can't play a4. It doesn't make sense because we haven't played c5 yet. So now we're just going to take advantage of this excellent square on b4. So you can't do that. But anyway, everyone's playing here in c3, and then almost everyone here is playing d5. But anyway, all these moves are covered on the channel here. But yeah, b3, I think this was a very good example of, okay, what's actually the point here if they don't accept the gambit, right? So, like, I have a lot of videos, you know, punishing them for accepting this gambit. And, you know, lots of fun, lots of various fun lines here, chasing around this queen, and, you know, they're so far from castling, and you know, all that good stuff. But what if they don't accept? What's actually the point of this? Well, I think you saw it really well here. The bishop's coming here, first of all, like a Benko gambit, like any Benoni structure. Bishop's coming here, trying to cause problems, and with this pawn on b5 getting to b4, we're able to cause lots of problems in these critical central squares. With e6, with takes d5, with these important central squares, we're able to force e takes d5, get that file open. The knight's no longer here to fight for that, or to fight for defending our bishop, which would have allowed castle here, and we were able to take advantage of the knight. Maybe not as well take advantage of as if we had done the top engine recommendation of bishop takes a4, which I will know for next time. But, so we learn something. We learn something every game. Play the Grafe Benko Gambit. Subscribe if all that goes on YouTube. Gambit Chads rise up, baby. GCRU. Sorry, I'm just reading chat now. Every Christmas we have a Blitz tournament. We all have to play random gambits. This year you chose the Yang Yan and the Deceiver. That's awesome. I wish I could join this chess club, man. That sounds like so much fun. Let me know if you guys got anything here in New York. What's up, your move? Reisman? Okay, we were actually just talking about this. Weren't we just talking about this? This is Scotch players facing a Bushgas Gambit and not knowing that it's different. Expecting me to play here knight c6 for a full Scotch transposition. However, we're castling here really, really fast. So now after something like rook e8, castles rook e8, I feel like there's a common theme in my games, which is like, I'm trying to strike really, I'm castling, and I'm getting my rook there, and I'm striking quick before you can castle. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. I like it when they're in the center. I mean, I'll attack their king wherever it is, but it's easier to attack in the center than it is in the corner. So yeah. I'm grateful they're still in the middle. This was a creative way to defend d4, because you don't have bishop d3 right now, because as I mentioned before, it blocks the queen's defense here and hangs the knight. So they move this first. If they play knight b3, it encourages bishop b4, which, you know, further gives more problems, pinning the knight further gives more problems on the e4 pawn. But knight f3 here, I play rook e8. Gosh, I am boiling. Someone's got the heat on. That's my turn. Oh, I think we're just winning. Takes. Yeah. Well, with bishop f8 at the end of everything, right? Takes, bishop takes. I can't go takes because I hang my queen. However, we'll trade. Rook takes e4, rook d8. Oh no, bishop f8, I have at the end of everything, but then they take here. Maybe this wasn't smart. Takes. Takes, check, here, takes. Darn. What? Takes. Why would that be any better? Check, no. Down. Doesn't work. What about takes, takes, takes? All right, now I'm just saying nonsense. I did have fun with that though. Takes, takes, takes. Takes. Takes? Yeah, I can't. Check, here, takes. And I don't have mate. Sucks. Alright. Dude's good. He's 1200? He found all that? Or maybe that just fell into his lap. I don't know. Now we're just equal. What could I have done better? I don't even know how I could have done that better. I've never seen this before. Knight f3 was so oddly specific to play bishop d3. Alright, we'll try to operate here with our bishop pair. I don't think that was a great choice. I would have just probably played bishop d3. Knight c6 threatened the bishop, though, because we controlled the d8 square. Maybe I still did play it right, and it was better for me. Rook e2. No, don't go rook e2. There's still this. Don't do it. This seems annoying. You know why? Because after bishop takes c7, rook e2, there's no rook d2. Because I'm going to take f3. And then you'll lose a piece here, and you'll lose a rook there. So there's no take c7. Otherwise, let's say h3, trade rook e2, rook d2. Can't quite go takes, check, king f1. Trade bishop b6. No, don't do that. I was just calculating some interesting stuff. Okay, wait, let's have a look at this. Okay, yeah. So this is the bad Scotch. This is the bad Scotch because this is you know, what they're expecting is this position, which is common. What they're getting is this position, which is not common. And now after e5, queen e7 is a great move to play when you're not boxing that in. And so now, you know, you can't really defend this d6. I'll chip away at that and win it. So, nice pin there. Otherwise, yeah, you defend, and here comes rook e8 and d5, which is just really awkward to deal with. Yeah, you see, most common move, bishop e3. Not a great one. I think this bishop b4 is top rec, but I like just rook e8 here. Oh, because there's a nice gambit. That's always the answer, isn't there? Ah, check. Ah, don't lose your rook. Check. Boom, boom. So, anyway, what I typically get here is though something like bishop d3 or f3, and after d5, you know, sometimes you're just winning a piece. But yeah, just overwhelming pressure here. That's really annoying. f3, d5, similarly, really annoying, and we're taking this, causing lots of problems because they're kings in the middle. In the game though, knight f3. Ah, I missed just a quick knight g4. Yeah, those threats can be really annoying if you can't castle to deal with it. If you can castle deal with it, and your rook defends, like 99 times out of 100, it was just totally nothing. The 1 out of 100 where it's not is, you know, that push gas line where we actually trade everything, king takes f2, and then go queen d4, check. Here, forking the king and the bishop. Anyway, knight g4 here, good resource. Hard to defend f2, something like this, to try and go bishop h4 after f6, but we just throw this in, right? So it seems good. In the game, knight f3, rook e8, bishop d3, d5, and yeah, they had that resource. It wasn't nice one. Nice one. Yeah, this is bad. We're pinned here, right? Absolutely cannot play this. There's no rook e1 at the end of it. So, in the game here, we just get an equal position, but they hang the rook. My point of bishop g4 and why I liked it so much was because of the point bishop takes c7. It's going to go rook e2. No rook d2. Rook d2 is a really nice way to parry, you know, any hit along the 2nd or 7th rank, but we can just take this. And here we're winning, because after takes, we just eat, and takes, right? We don't really need the engine. But yeah, rook e2, and now, okay, my idea was to just kind of take stuff. Otherwise, yeah, so that's why maybe rook d2 right away is probably best. Shield that 2nd rank, so, you know, your other rook can come into the game, and you're still targeting c7. And 85 is now also possible if you want, stepping out of the pin. So rook d2 made a lot of sense. Made a lot more sense than did rook d7 anyway. So, okay, let's get back to it. Oh, that's everything. That's everything for that arena. Let's join another one. Right. Well, we got a couple minutes till the next one. I play bishop c4 against the bush gas, transposed to the bishop's opening. Yeah, you can. After knight f6, do you just play d3? Gotta have good prep against the bush gas. Got to have good prep against the bush gas. Oh. Alright. One more arena for the night. What should I eat right now? My protein bars. I am excited because I recorded a new video. Little teaser. It's like maybe 80 minutes long, maybe more. It is d4, knight f6, knight f3, and how to crush that. And this was the uncrackable beast because it's like the most solid possible first two moves in chess. But we got him. We got him. And it will be published as soon as I have a thumbnail. It is the product of a lot of research and a lot of trials and error in terms of finding the perfect thing. Brand new. I will tell you that. 0 games in the database, in the Masters database. Just the way we like it. I wish when my opponents magically have resources against me, they would immediately blunder their pieces too. Yeah, right? It made up for their magical resource of not getting forked. That he just, like, hung it on d7. Oh, wow. I get that, though. You get, like, really in your head. You're calculating everything. You're looking at a lot of things. And you're just like, okay, let me just go work d7.
9,
and it's just like, oh,
8,
bishop can move
7,
backwards, too.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
This will be fun because we'll play number 2 in the arena. Penny. Okay. Good luck, penny off die 1. First game of the arena. Yan Yan. Yan Yan. Alright, you know what? We're gonna try out an abstinence gambit here. We're gonna try out an abstinence gambit. Take my pawn, sir. Take my pawn. Let's go. Abstinence gambit on the board. Oh, no. That was a terrible choice. Oh, that was the worst possible choice. Aren't you trapped right away? Oh, you're not trapped right away. Okay. I actually don't know this. I would go d6, but I think just trade and the knight comes right back, right? Or even worse, queen h4 check. So, but this seems just really good. I know a little bit of abstinence, but I don't know this. So, we're winging it. What does black want to play? Probably d6. Can I stop it? Would it be so crazy? It would be. Yeah, I can't do it. Okay. d6. Probably. It's weird because the knight on c7 is oddly a good defender. Dare I say? It defends a lot of the resources that I kind of want. Alright, I'm just going to play... I have a lot of ideas. I'm going to start... No, I don't even like that. Alright, bishop e2. So if takes, probably just c4. If bishop g4, I have this annoying queen a4 check, which I liked. I think here I just liked c4. I don't think that pawn is going very far. I don't know where else this bishop could have gone. I think now this could be fun, because now I was going to maybe... I could just play knight c3 and support that. Probably makes the most sense. But what if castles takes, knight takes e5? Hitting f7. Bishop e6, right? Can I get him there? Something like bishop g4. If I just play knight c3, just trade and bishop d6. So I think it kind of obliges me to go for the craziness. Castles, bishop d6, knight g5. Okay. Bishop d6, knight g5, right? Hitting this. Yeah, they go for this line. I think bishop d6 was a better choice. Now we've got lots of pressure. And what I wanted, bishop h5, g6, bishop g4, or, no, better to just not even give them that. Let's go bishop g4 right away. We've got a lot of pressure cooking. We've got a lot of pressure. Can they take it? I think probably not. Yeah, definitely not. I trade, take e6, and then I will fork them on f7. Fork the king and rook right there. So we're trading off for that bishop so that we can get them right there. Otherwise, bishop d6, take, no, you lose that too. That was a good choice, because now takes, knight takes e5. Bishop takes here, and we're even. But I don't want to be even, I want to be winning. Takes. I think even might be the best I can do. This was a good move. Okay, takes, knight e5, right? Because if takes, I have knight f7. So knight e5. Don't have some magical follow-up here. So queen h5. Knight takes e6. Queen takes... Yeah, they hold f7 for a second. So cd5 takes... Check. Knight g6, they're fine. I should just go here. Interesting. Oh, I'm still down one pawn. Kind of forgot about that. Man, are they good? No, I don't want to let them survive. No way. Damn. I guess I missed something. Knight c6 was a great resource. Maybe I have a little bit of compensation, but I don't have compensation on the clock, that's for sure. It's just pretty solid here. I don't know how to get through. Yeah, my opponent's played quite well, I think. Did not give me anything. I need to not lose on h2. Oh my goodness, there's an 83. Alright, oh well. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. This could be annoying. Check rook h4. It's not that annoying. Yeah, very well handled. Just h6. Alright. Queen d4 saves them there. Yeah, they weren't gonna... Oh, an 86? What? Okay, whatever. It's gonna lose on the clock anyway. Tough. Tough one there. Okay, abstinence gambit. And this couldn't have been a great line. I feel like I let one slip away. Because this can't be a great line. I think the big issue is what I played against it. My opponent did everything right here. I thought this could be dangerous if I'm able to take and then castle. And then the hits come here. Not easy how to develop. but just e6 is smart. I did have a chance. This was bad. Check was the best. Not knight d7? Can I figure out in my head why knight d7 is so bad? What would white play here? I don't even know. Let's try to figure this out. Okay, I have an idea. It's just takes and... I was going to say just bishop b5, but there is potentially just knight b6, which saves some. So takes, takes, takes. If queen takes, then bishop b5. And if bishop takes... No, queen e4 check. Just come back, bishop e6. Or then, yeah, I think that's the line. cd, knight takes, and knight d7. Not obvious. You know, it's not completely winning, right? But queen takes and bishop b5 wins. You need to take right away. You don't have time for bishop b5. I think this is too good of a defensive resource, hitting the queen, defending there. But bishop takes d7, queen e4 check. It's not easy how to not lose this, because bishop e6, there's this check, which is nasty. You don't have bishop d7 here, because you're pinned. And so here, okay, you're just losing, like your king's on e7. Otherwise, yeah, knight e7 is an unfortunate move to play, and really sets you back in the castling goals. Okay, so queen a4 check was actually the right hit there. Using the knight's support of control of these squares, that's really frustrating. And knight c6 is not really a human move to play. This is probably what was going to happen. So that's unfortunate. I missed that. I played bishop g4 rather quickly, just trying to target. And I think knight c6 is just absolutely the only move that black can play. I think anything else, like with that bishop getting traded, the pressure here becomes overwhelming. You can't really play f6 with queen h5 in tow. That's a really strong check with the knight support fighting against pawn g6. So queen h5 check would be strong. For example, f6 takes, knight takes, and just queen h5 check, right? Queen f7, g6, knight takes, pin right there, right? So that wasn't really an option. Bishop d6 also wasn't really an option because I think after takes, there's pressure here. They do survive due to this move, which nobody saw. And queen h4 check coming. But otherwise, knight takes f7 to a human is forking the queen ruck with white down at exactly nothing. So, interesting. Yeah, wow, what? Wait, takes here, check. What are we missing? Castles? Dude, what? Knight's attacked. Trade and win the knight? Stop. What is happening? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. King was pretty barren there, so just go get him. Can't play queen h4 right away, because then we would take the bishop. So you gotta just sacrifice the bishop first, then here, then castle, so that the rook then joins the fray. Wow. Anyway, knight c6 played, which was a very good move, because takes, now the thing that's recapturing is not a bishop, but a knight, and what the knight does is it defends f7. So here, apparently, all is good. And I did take, which was fine, but I am down a pawn. I had only got one of them back, and I had sacrificed two. I kind of forgot. So here, this was just, I think, really solid play by black. And, yeah, I just played rook d1 here, which looked very natural. Unfortunately, knight g4. Yeah, I probably should have, like, included h3 or something. Knight g4 here causes lots of problems, hitting h2. And then, you know, bishop f4, not a great way to deal with it, because trade, and now nobody controls the e3 square. So, well played by my opponent. Very well played by my opponent. First abstinence gambit does not go as planned. Abstinence in chess. Of course, that's the first hit. Whatever. I'll find it another time and check that out. Let's go back to the arena. All right, we'll get him next time. All right. Well, that was the first 12 minutes of the arena to spend getting 0 points, which probably doesn't bode well for an arena start in terms of winning. We are 102nd in the arena, so we're gonna have to pick up the pace. Yeah, you did handle it well. You can play a dummy gambit variation that's better. So some idea. So it's a Sicilian, right? But some idea of going bishop takes f7 and e6. I like it. I like it a lot. Said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot. Okay, another King's Gambit. We started out the stream facing King's Gambit. Last time we got this time we get this. Both are weird. Can go here. Alright, I'm gonna take it. It is weird, right? Maybe I should have gone here, but no, they were probably fine. I want bishop c5 more than anything. Alright, let's trade off for this pesky knight that's stopping my dreams. I feel like I'm helping them. Should I go here? Takes, bishop, queen takes, pawn takes. I don't want to help them. Other option is trade, and then f5 and e4, which is kind of interesting. Probably not what we wanted to do. Alright, we're just gonna play it very gambit-fully. Get our bishop to c5, give this pawn, get our king out of the middle. So their king will be in the middle, and ours will not. Just super simple. Okay, well that we had controlled, but it still might be a good move. I don't know if they knew they were giving a pawn. But I think bishop d3, I was going to play f5, right? And then pawn takes f6, which reintroduces the mate threat here, rook e8. Here I can just take it, actually. I mean, as much as I love that diagonal, I guess it's not quite that good. But yeah, my favorite resource. My favorite resource has come up a million times on stream already, which is this. I can still play f5 here. Right? Why not? Alright, 40 seconds. Somehow I've spent more time than them in this game. Even though I berserked and they did not. Okay, they're able to castle, actually. That is true. Let's go here, bishop e6, targeting h2 right now. A little bit faster, trying to lock in a little bit here. f4, f3 would be nice. Actually, do they have serious problems here, actually? Queen b5, a6, or c6? Can I win it? Queen a5, so they can still take this. I actually have I have b6 as a simple resource, but I have an even nicer one, which I could have demonstrated, which was check, king h1, and takes d3, which has a tempo on the rook. So they can't take my bishop there. Anyway, b6 is very simple. So just getting you off of that, yum. Now I'm not losing the bishop. While the queen is still there before taking. If that makes sense. And bishop h2 is a threat. Bishop h2 is a sneaky threat trying to take the rook. But, I mean, f4, f3 seems fun. f4, rook e1, it's fine. Or unless they can just trade. Well, wait, take c5, are they losing it again? Bishop d6. Ah! Queen e4 is probably okay. But still, it's a queen trade in there. Don't have much time on the clock. Okay, 10 seconds. Should be enough. I just need to kind of lock in a little bit. Okay, bishop's hit and can't hold. Oh, did not expect that. got it. No, good thing we didn't pre-move Queen F2. Alright, GG. Alright. First win in the arena. We jumped up from 100-something to 37th. Pantaldakis Counter-gambit. Is that what I just faced? Dummy game e4, c5, c3. Sorry, I cannot accept challenges at the moment. We're trying to win this arena. e4, c5, c3, knight f6, e5, knight d5, knight f3, d6, bishop b5, bishop d7, bishop c4. And then bishop takes f7 and e6. That is interesting. I'll have to look into that. Okay, playing at 2258. Another King's Gambit we're facing. Don him. Don the glasses, baby. No, that's not playable. That's not playable. F takes e5 now opens up that route right into e4. g3 now cannot be played because there's no pawn in the way. And when we get to e4, we're hitting... let's draw a different colored arrow. Boom and boom. There's no pawn right there. How do I get a blue? Blue. There you go. Now it's clear. There's no pawn in the way. So we get right in there. Otherwise, the main point of this line was takes and putting that bishop right there, which is a juicy, juicy spot. Love controlling that diagonal and stopping them from castling with that bishop and making big threats on f2. In the game, we have king e2, which seems like it sucks. It won't lose immediately because they have knight f3. But I'm going to go schmeck. 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 King f2 is forced, and then schmeck. d4, yum. So then king g3 is your only option. So I think my assessment seems like it sucks. It was rather accurate. Yum. King f2, and I can just go check, get that right back, just without the e-pawn. Oh, they had enough. They had enough. I think getting rid of the e-pawn, if anything, was bad. Because here, like, h5 maybe makes more sense, or like knight h6. But then if I got rid of the e-pawn, I'd actually checkmate sooner. This was a big blunder. Can I not do the same? No, what? What was the blunder? The blunder is because they can take it? Okay. The mating pattern is check here, check here. So the reason why we include that check is because if this is the position, they can go to g3. But so then we are coaxing them up the board. They have no block. Bishop is doing a good job here, stopping queen, stopping king. So come, coaxed all the way up. Come to papa. Come to papa. Okay, so we got him with that. Let's keep him moving. Yeah, FXE is rare that happens, especially among King's Gambit players, and especially among people who are 2260. Could you play me? Yeah, I will do viewer challenges, but right now my goal is to win this arena. I did do some. Well, I played one very long viewer game earlier, but yes, in general, I am happy to play my subscribers. Okay, I tried to get a yan-yan abstinent situation. Instead, we just got a center. Which is still pretty nice. d5 maybe? This seems annoying. Knight e5, if I take it... What's happening here? Takes, check. Knight d7. Takes. Yum. I'm up a piece, yeah? Works. I don't know if it's actually good, but it's fun. Bishop takes d1. What a queen sacrifice this. Oh, whoa. Cool. Okay. Sack the queen. Knight d7. Can I play knight takes? So knight takes, the point would be knight f6 would be checkmate and it would be sick. But they could not get mated with e6. In which case, I would go takes and have a lot for the queen, but here, e6. Wait, if I go takes, queen takes, knight takes, I think the issue is that then they move their bishop, and my knight is trapped in there. No, I'm not trapped. I have knight takes f8. Okay, it's not the coolest way to win the game, but it does win the game. I was kind of hoping I had to do the other option of sticking with the queen sack. But this is just winning. Okay. It's not really a gambit if it was kind of just a forced way to win a piece. But it's sick. But it's sick. Yeah, I have knight takes f8. I didn't even see it. So yeah, if the bishop moves anywhere, I have knight takes f8. And we're ahead a piece. Otherwise, king takes and takes. My point was I thought I had to land with the bishop. I thought I had to land with the bishop, you know? And otherwise, it's just a very clean piece. Just bring our rook to c1. So yeah, that was fun because knight takes e5, right? So then, and then they took, and bishop b5. They had no way to get off of this, obviously, other than putting the knight on d7, and so the knight in turn controlled it. They could have just played pawn takes e5, as of course they should have. I think knight b5 here is strong. Pawn takes e5 because I couldn't have just taken. There was a knight right there. Or I could have, actually. It would have been a fun trade. Takes, knight takes, bishop e5 check. But that wasn't the plan. The plan was probably either bishop e5 and queen a4, or maybe just to play f3 there and just kind of enjoy my nice position. This seems nasty. Follow that up with a bishop g5. Keep attacking. e6. I have an a7 for no reason. It's not for no reason, actually. I would stop. Like knight d4 makes a lot of sense, but I would be stopping rook c8. It's not for nothing. I don't think like it's not like I risk anything. I'm stopping rook c8 for one move, right? That's supported here. I never played f3 and encouraged them to go to a better square, which would have stopped all my ideas. But now knight c6, big threat, hitting the rook and threatening checkmate. Yeah, dude. I mean, not that I don't have like a million other resources on the board here, including trapping this bishop, but knight c6 here is the simplest, hitting the rook and threatening checkmate, like I said. In fact, the only way not to get checkmate in one is to go there. Okay, GG. All right, nice game, nice little queen sacrifice there. Nice little queen sacrifice action. Thanks, guys. Blackmore Deemer Gambit Cult. Wow. Cool username. Almost as cool as Von Popeil Gambit Cult. Never heard of the Holy Wogley Gambit. Some sort of joke? I won several games. What is the Holy Wogley Gambit? Thank you, guys. Was that only, Okay, now we're actually all the way up to 5th in the arena. Oh, speaking of awesome gambits. Every time I see just the Caro, I get excited. I love the Von... I was going to say I love the Von Hennig that much. Okay. A6. Cool. Good for you. I hope you're happy. Go here. Alright, I'll play knight f3 now that there's no bishop g4, which I know they wanted. Bishop g4, because it's so bad, right? All these light square pawns. They wanted bishop g4, then e6, then to make that bad, get a French, except without it being so bad. Also, bishop e3, the move I played, I think is useful, because I know they wanted c5 as well. I'm not just going to play e5 yet. I'm going to keep some pressure there as long as I can. Okay, I think we've reached as long as I can. Bishop d3, I don't like it. We're going to trade, and then I have 6 with tempo. So I'll play e5 here. I don't think that's coming. I think my bishop's actually doing a great job. Of course, it would be nice to get my queen to g4, which I can't do quite yet. Alright, alright. I could play a3. Kind of obliges them to make that trade. In the meantime, let's just go bishop d3. Yeah, I think it's pretty good French for me. Play your a3, see what they want to do about this. Bishop a5 would surprise me. I would play b4 and I'd be happy, even though that's, in theory, their best piece. Yeah, I think they had to do that. b4. Bishop b7. If I play here in h5, h6, queen h5. Well, there's something else I'm thinking about, which is knight takes e6. Takes check, king f8. I don't actually have any follow-up, though. Knight g5, h6. Queen h5, g6. Queen h3. Fine. Could play it. They want to castle this way. I mean, that's the deal. They do. Here, let's just castle and see what's going on. h4, rook h3, rook g3 was a main resource. Yeah, they want to castle that way. They don't want anything to do with that side of the board. So let's try to keep it bothersome. Try to keep it bothersome. Now, in theory, it looks like that patched things up, but now it gives me knight g5 without having to worry about this. I have knight takes e6. Takes, and that is hanging. So you can't play h6. I want f4, f5. I also want queen h5 to introduce more threats, such as, you know, the obvious knight takes e6 and takes g6. Oh, buddy. What's stronger, takes or takes? Even takes is not playable, so we'll do this. h6 isn't why they lost. This is already really bad. I think queen e7 is playable. What's also interesting is just trying to come around and maybe not lose that. I think the most straightforward resource is f4, f5, though, which is really strong. Takes. Yeah, king f8 got checkmated very quickly with this. I like this. I like it a lot. Am I insane? f4, f5 is what I'd do if I were not insane. But, like, am I so crazy for just, like, wanting this? Bishop c1, here, bishop a3, they can go king d8, right? I mean, bishop c1 is a nice move. It's funny. Alright, I'll play f4, though. It is a nice move. It's not a bad move at all. Okay, now it's actually maybe even objectively a good move. It's probably, like, f5 is still maybe objectively the best. Bishop f2. Oh, bishop f2 is probably just winning. Bishop f2 is just resigns, isn't it? Or takes f4. Do we have something there? I'm sure we do. Queen d2. Oh, wait. Here, take, check anyway. Rook takes, rook f7, king e8. Then, I mean, there's just no way they are surviving. Bishop h4 coming. This, again, was simpler, but this is very hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. If you slide out the way with your queen, this is still, you have no squares for your king. Like, knight f6 is the only move. So takes... Right, so takes... What I wanted most... Yeah, I think it's playable. Check, takes, rook f7, king e8, queen f3, queen b6, I play rook f8, king e7, queen f7. I don't think there's any defense after just the simple queen f3. I mean, like, other things are... Like, this is clearly winning, and we just trade on f1. But this is just really nice, as long as I'm not stupid. Just rook f7. I can also go rook f4 check and take, but I think this is winning. Queen f3. It's queen g5, I have rook f8. King e7, queen f7. I mean, that's what I'm doing against everything. Rook f8 and queen f7. So how do you not allow that? I don't think you can. Knight takes e5. This is main one. What? Oh my god. Why did that take so long? I was like, it's not checkmate? I really believed it wasn't checkmate because I'm like, I decided that so fast in my head. And then I'm like, maybe I just hung in something. It really took an extra beat there. Am I crazy? Or maybe that was in my head. Okay. Fun game. Fun game. Let's analyze this real quick because we want to get back to the arena. A6, I mean, it's like a move you can play. I mean, really what you want is like knight f3. Well, because black has no moves that are helpful to their position at all. if you're not just going into the d takes e4 stuff, because e6 is blocking in your bishop. Knight f6, there's e5. Knight d7, you can't play. So it's like, what do you do? g6 is not how you wanted to develop that bishop. So a6 is like vaguely useful in some lines, but what you really want is just this. And then so at some moment, like, okay, h3, let's say, you want this, you want your light square pawn, so now you get a French where eventually, like here, this is your dreams, right? You get a French where you traded off your light square bishop, a6 seems slightly useful, maybe stopping this, maybe supporting this or something, and then you're able to hit this. So that's what they wanted. It's just not what I gave them. So I played bishop e3, which was useful to me, stopping this. And now after knight f3, we get this French structure, but the bishop's still a French bishop. You've played a6 and c6 and want to play c5, so, you know, you've burned a couple of moves there. And so now we get this where I also made you trade off your best piece. And so c5 is like, he decided it wasn't even worth it to him. I could probably maybe even just take that pawn. So b5 is trying to run away because this is just way too dangerous. There might be great gifts already, and there probably are. I don't know how you don't get mated here. So, yeah, in addition to just all the nice French attacking ideas, so like knight g5, follow that up with like queen g4, queen h5, looking at all these late squares, you saw that stuff in the game, h4, h5, even h6 at some moment, or, you know, bring the rook around. These are all things that are on the table, but the whole side of this board is my oyster. But castles, so then a4, kind of intimidated him to not castle long. I still think that's what you had to do if you were going to hang on. What I like here more than anything is bishop to c1 and bishop a3. Knight g5 is a nice spot to hang out, to maybe stop castling if you're not defending there. But hit the knight, bishop d6. Okay, you know, I'd have a lot of fun in this position. But anyway, in the game, though, knight g5, h6, we were able to take that. I mean, h6 is not why they lost. Like I said, this is plus 2.7. Stuff's coming out, lots of hits all over these light squares. You know, I can maybe take any of them, and f4, f5, we're just going to run them right over. Light square bishop operating really well. And so this was, you know, everything was correct here, but, you know, it was quite the finesse. It was not really necessary, but it was anyway a nice one, combining the power of both bishops. Let's keep it moving. We're third in the arena. We got to catch them. Sorry, I would have said more about that, and I would have, you know, explained my ideas better, but we're in a rush. 22 minutes. So you guys have been discussing the Von Hennig Gambit, Blackmar Deemer, and the Von Papil. I would tell you the Von Papil is just a better version of the Blackmar Deemer. You're taking away Black's best defensive resource, which is bishop f5 and then e6. Because you're just delaying it one move, and if bishop f5, you have queen takes f3. You're taking with the queen, not the knight. You put that on the table. It's just a better version. That is my honest opinion. So, yeah, play the Von Papil Gambit. Number 1 in the arena. I wonder what we're playing. Bushgas Gambit, baby. Opponent tried to decline with c3, quick d4. This is one of the offbeat lines, but it is a line. d4 is what a lot of people play. Knight takes e5 is a perfectly playable move, and d4 next turn, and that is a true gambit. But this is just going to be an equal position. Castle first. So we're just getting an equal position here. My opponent played the opening very unambitiously. Did not want to accept my gambit at all. That's okay. I'll try not to take it personally. Alright, well, there's this isolated pawn. Popular belief about what to do with this is just to, like, really hold this d5 square as much as possible. It's a little misguided. I think I'll talk more about it after. About how to play against IQPs. Yes, the d5 square matters, but there's other things that matter more. I'll just put e8 here. Bishop f5? Does that make sense? I wanted it to come here, but there's knight g5. Seems annoying. Just keep developing. Can't go wrong. What matters more, other than just defending this, is yes, you want to hold that blockade, But even more, you want to hold that blockade, and then once you have it, don't just keep piling up on it. But the only you don't need to have a knight here. You just need to stop them from being able to make that advance, right? Once you hold this and stop them from making that advance, then attack the pawn where it is. Put pressure on it. That's the key. This was annoying for them because they couldn't move their queen out because I would take the knight and take this. Bishop c4, good move, probably. h3 was another good move. That was my number one choice. Knight b6 is fine. Bishop e6 is also fine. I think knight b6, there's bishop b5 is what they want. It's fine. Bishop b5. I would probably go queen d6. Bishop b3. I don't think that was the best choice. I think bishop b5 was a better choice. So now you're just offering me this? Knight a5 I can also play, which would eliminate their best piece. But knight takes d4, is this just an offer? I'm a little concerned about here, but I don't think there's anything. I think we just got it. Bishop b5 was a pin. You know, I had a couple good options against it. Even in any position where they traded, I don't think that was so bad. Going pawn takes c6, keeping the pressure here, keeping the blockade there. I think it would have taken them a little while to orchestrate an attack, but it's wasn't my number one choice. I mean, I was probably going to go something like queen d6. I was probably going to go queen d6 against bishop b5. Here, I think it's a pretty clean pawn. Don't know what you do to me here. My next move is just rook d8. Just bring them all in. Alright, I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to trade and then just try and win this endgame, right? Pawn ahead. Pawn's a pawn. If they trade and then knight b5, that actually could be annoying. Trade and knight b5 could be annoying. Maybe it makes sense to play c6 or even a6. Trade knight b5, yeah, could be annoying. Should I... Yeah, c6 makes sense. The issue was rook d8, right? Take. Or they don't even have to take, but knight b5. Attacks here and here, right? So then, let's say I play c6, knight takes a7. Typically, you know, that's totally fine. You just play rook a8 and you have it trapped there, right? There's no way out. But it's coupled with that. So then they take a7, and then this is hanging. That was probably totally playable on their part. So c6 we had to play against this knight, and then, you know, it's a great spot for a pawn to face off against the knight, so the knight is trying to reroute itself to greener pastures. In the meanwhile, I will happily activate my last piece and start looking at some ideas like bishop d3, which is an annoying pin, so they can't stick around there, because they also don't have rook e1 in that position. So that's my next move. Knight d5 I can play so long as, again, knight's not in a great spot. It's in a transition square. It needs to transition out of there. But knight g3, or whatever you're looking at, yeah, knight d4 need to be played, or else bishop d3 would have trapped you. So where do we go? It's a good spot. Bishop e6 would have been my number 2 choice. I don't have that either. Go here or g6. It's fine, though. It's going to go here. I like that I keep... I mean, bishop c5 makes a lot of sense, but I like that I keep stopping rook e1. I feel like that's what they keep wanting to play. It's the most obvious resource. Might even play bishop a2 to play b4. But I want to play knight d5. Right, this knight can't move. I have bishop d3. Yeah, so they're trying to... Oh, c5. Can I play this now? c5 and bishop d3? Can I win like this? c5... Well, knight d5 makes a lot of positional sense. It's actually a very sound positional move. But... c5, they have knight b3. That's actually a nasty resource. So let's just play knight d5. Probably they should take it. Because, I don't know, this is a lot of pressure here. Should probably take it. But anyway, my position's very solid. Bishop's not getting trapped. It now has rope. So they don't take it. They want me to play f6 and walk right into the pin. It's fine. I'll do it. Really? Okay. Probably better to just go to h8. No reason to even have to deal with that in the future. Again, tough to move around if you're white. b4, but there is knight c3. Takes. I have something like c5 at the end of that, right? So potentially I'm winning. But there is an 86 check. As I just said, I gave them that resource. Yeah, there's an 86 check. I shouldn't have given them that. Now after bishop b2, they're not losing. If my king were right there, I think I could have won immediately. Alright, it's fine. Bishop b2. Yeah, this is going to be something I have to watch out for now. For no reason. Alright, but knight f4 seems strong still. Still got other resources, so I don't have knight c3 or pressure there, but I'm trying to take it in e2, and I'm hold e6 for this moment. So g3, I would take it, then takes, and then I would take it again. Rook takes, and then knight e2 check. So that seems nasty. Otherwise, king here, and I want to slip underneath. Hitting the bishop. And this. So here in e6, take. Yeah, we're winning something, right? e6. I should be winning a full piece, but I'm only winning 2 pieces for a rook. Because of this stupid 96 check. I'll stop complaining about it. I promise. This is just winning a clean piece now. My knight got in the way of this rook. He forgot about that. We just won a clean piece. But yeah, I was already winning. I mean, my pieces were just doing a great job. Rooks, bishops, knights, everything was just clicking on all cylinders, and there was just lots of pressure. There's just lots of pressure all over the board. Here comes more. f3, they tried to play, finally to get that, like, rook free a little bit. Here, I can't quite do that. So let's just get to a solid square here. I wanted f4. I think I had something clever there, but it's fine. Check, this is clever. Take g2. And checkmate coming. GG. GG. Yeah, fun game there against #1 in the arena. We had a Bush Gas. I'll show this real quick. We had c3 in the Bush Gas Gambit, trying to play d4 right away. Of course, like, this is the main line. It's very well covered on my channel, etc. Knight f3, another option here. This, another option, right? Knight takes c5 and offering the pawn a couple of ways. Lots and lots of fun, crazy stuff. We've been talking about the Scotch throughout this stream. Here, my opponent plays c3, trying to play quick d4, so we strike before they can. Yeah, this is a line as well. This is a line as well. Somehow, a lot of people, though, who play c3 are just bailing out of everything, not wanting to accept the gambits. Everyone talks smack about gambits until they have to face them, in which case they want nothing to do with them. Just give me boring old plain equality, please, instead of having to deal with the gambits, even though it says +2, which I'll write in your YouTube comments. Anyway, here we are able to play knight b6 and snatch the pawn. And then what I liked most about this game is actually kind of the technique after this, where I think we really kept up a lot of pressure against all these ideas of, like, bishop here, trapping the rook, hitting the rooks that were otherwise defending all this stuff in the middle of the board. The knight became a little loose here. We used our extra pawn really well. We had a pawn that supported our knight. They didn't have a pawn that supported their knight, and that became kind of the issue as this knight kind of lost its foothold there, and ideas of taking it, and then playing knight e2, or slipping underneath there, knight d3, shout out to that bishop. Everybody's doing a great job, right? Hitting that guy now, and here, eventually we just want a piece. Okay, we got to keep it moving in this arena. We got to really keep it moving in this arena. Oh my god, 10 minutes. I just played #1 in the arena. How are there 2 people way ahead of me? I was just playing #1 in the arena. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Okay, g4. Nice move. I don't know. I know, like, objectively the best is, like, to take it and allow this, but who knows anything? Who knows anything? What to do? So stupid. Alright. Should I go here anyway? C3 feels like it combated this. But I don't know. Feels like D4 was coming. Alright, somehow their position's not that bad. Oh! Just got in the way of that. It's fine, there's an HE3. Just come here. Gotta respect a Grobs player, though. Gotta respect a Grobs player. Nothing but respect, sir. Here comes B4. What's the fastest way through? Maybe here, F5, F4? Does that make any sense? Alright, we got the knight out of the way, at least against B5. So B5 is obviously what they want. C6 to stop it. Okay, let's keep developing F5. Okay. I mean, we're up a pawn. It's a pretty important one, right? So we shouldn't have too much trouble. Yeah. G5, H5. Push it. Just push them all. Everything's fine. I think we played this pretty solidly. I don't know if there was like a faster KO that I missed. I don't really think so. Okay. Go 4. They want C4 and B5. Trying to also cause some issues in that direction. Alright, we made that knight move. Seemed like a pretty good knight. Hop around. Still no C4 because of the pressure there, right? So they go here. C4, I'll play D5. So they're still undermining this B5 idea. H5, they rook G5. Maybe it would have been good to coax that, actually. Then Queen H6, then D5 hit the knight. Which would have been attached to that rook. Otherwise, what's my main idea now? I'm just responding to this. Takes. Ah. Don't do that. Oh, I have check. King G2. Sacrifice? Seems fun. I don't know if it's actually good. Oh, what in the world? That was a really good move. Alright, I think we're getting through now, finally. Knight of 4 coming. I don't know if that was the best. Ah, this is strong. Rook F8. Yeah, they gotta go King F3. King E4. And now we got... Oh, is that mate? I missed mate in 1, actually. King E2. Rook H2 is the fastest checkmate, actually. Oh, did not expect that. Yeah, we got him. Check. Mate. Ooh. My opponent was actually very good there. Opponent was actually very good. Ah, wait, give me one more game, please. No, I need to catch this guy. Ah. Oh, he's playing. And he's completely winning. Also, I'm not going to catch him. It's spent too long analyzing games. This guy played a lot. Well, he's gonna end up playing 2 more games than me. Okay. No, he had a very good arena. Very well deserved. I might not even get third. This guy is also playing. I mean, I might not even get second. But it looks like he's gonna lose. Can you give me one more game, please? Real quick. Pretty please. Gotta finish. You're not gonna berserk also? We're not even gonna finish our game. It's only 350 left. Oh, but we got a bush gas accepted. Alright. Screw the arena. Let's win this game. Gotta defend the bush gas. Does my opponent. I like the F5 line, but let's do a Stafford for old time's sake. F3. Okay. I have seen this before, actually. Queen D4, your idea is just Queen E2. And just solid, 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 solid. Solid, solid, solid. What can I do against that? G5, G4. No. G5 takes, Queen D4. Queen D2, Queen takes B2. Doesn't really make any sense. Okay. Here's the idea. Screw your solidness. You may think you can make a big old triangle there and stop me. I'm gonna bust it open. Here we go. So, yeah, I'm gonna castle. I'm gonna put my rooks here. I'm gonna sacrifice something. I'm gonna get that king. That's what's gonna happen. F4. G4. Check. King over. I think they're okay. Alright, we need to make sure there's no C3. C3, we need to make sure. So we have bishop A6 right now. Otherwise, my threat actually might be takes, and if D takes, A5, bishop A6. Which is going to be like, right down there. Both bishops. Exactly how I said it. Alright, we're getting through this. You're not going to hold this. Mr. Elmash, tear down this wall. We are crashing through. Takes, F takes. I'm going to get there. Okay, got a couple options. Trade F4. That is a tempting one. Other option. Trade Bishop G4? No. That's a dumb one. Okay. I can also play F4 right now. Alright. Takes F4. Bishop E3, I think, was a good resource on their part. Alright, we're not just going to let them play G4. Oh my god, what happened to all my time? Okay. Let's go get them. Attack G3. Trying to make them play... No, they don't G4. Are we getting our pawn back already? F4. Takes, rook takes. Takes. Oh, they didn't want that. I can't really blame them. I think that was pretty nasty. They just want to run away. I don't want to let them. Still attacking that rook for one more move. I probably just need to pull back. Alright. Material equal. Material is equal. They're thinking about bishop h3? I don't think that's a good idea. I'm just going to move my queen. Yeah, so they achieved their castle. They gave back the pawn, but they're going to achieve their castle. Oh, they're not. Queen b5 is maybe better. Now they have d4. I just wanted to target this. Okay, wait, d4, queen b5. It doesn't really shoot anything. Can I take it? Oh, they have check. Stupid check. Alright, fine. Target here. They have knight c4. Here, h3. c4. Queen e6. Queen d4 for no reason. Trade. Check. Take that away. Man, I'm just gonna run out of time. Oh, I berserked this game and they didn't. That was... almost forgot. It's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of really vibing in this game. I really like my position, actually. I quite like my position. It's gonna play rook d8, c4. Here they have d4 probably. Oh, that was stupid. Just probably... Everything takes b2, do I? Knight e6. Just queen f6. F6 anyway. Knight c4 is probably better. I was gonna go here. Alright, I mean, what can you do? I played a good player who didn't berserk. 5 minutes, 2.5. I mean, not that I didn't have chances. My opponent played well. My opponent played well. Yeah, f3 is one of the more solid ways you can play against this. Just none of this, none of this. Just really trying to hold everything, bundle up behind this, and get out of there before black crashes through. So I'm really trying to crash through. Knight h5 to give myself this queen h4 resource. G3 to take it. So trying to give myself that. f5, trying to chip away here. b6 was not the move. The move was f4, g4. But what's the point? What's the point? Oh, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. I didn't see this. You play f3 to put the bishop in a pin. To put the bishop in a pin. That is so nice. Sacrifice f3. They have no choice here. Check. And now it's saying not even to take this because we've just put that bishop in a pin. It was on g2 defending the rook, but now it's on f3 defending the rook. And here, I mean, it's literally checkmate. This position is literally checkmate. So, king g2. We're winning the queen. We're winning the queen. Oh, man. What a resource. What a resource. It's either resource or resource. Not the middle weird way I said it. Bishop g2. Yes, so I missed it. I played b6 trying to get this. Take, f4. I wanted this. Knight takes f4. Would have been fun. That's kind of how I wanted to land the whole time. This was kind of a success. Like, we have this queen c1 idea, so... you know, we got just kind of a position out of this. Okay, it's still better for white. I don't know. I mean, this would have been an interesting chess game from here, where it's now equal material. I did actually... I don't know if that was actually a good idea. Anyway, G. Okay, so I messed this up here, though. Knight c4 was necessary here. Knight takes b2 was very ambitious. It was a very ambitious try. Point is, king takes steps into a pin, right? So we would have c5 after that. c5 should have been played right now. Interesting stuff. Okay. Oh, we still got second in this arena, because Penny, who beat me in the very first game of this arena, ended up losing their last 2 games after a very good start. GG, congrats to El Da Silva, who actually won first pretty handedly. So it probably, you know, I did lose 2 games there, so if, you know, if you count the last one, which it doesn't actually here, but fun arena. Very well deserved by El Da Silva. It probably didn't come down to just like a couple minutes of me analyzing games, because that wasn't particularly close. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. Do I think I can still play viewers? Okay, because I want to win my last game. You can send me a challenge real quick. You can send me one challenge. I'm exhausted though. It is past midnight here, and I was gonna get up early tomorrow. But send me a challenge real quick. I'll play one more game. I got you. Anything for my YouTube subscribers, which, by the way, please do. Please do. You're on my YouTube already. Click the little subscribe button. It will let you. I promise. And it costs you nothing. Doesn't bother you one bit. Alright, random spicy mushroom. Good luck, sir. I'm on the East Coast, yeah. Alright, we are facing an Owens defense. What I like against the Owens is my delay Leela. I've talked about this before. Oh, we got knight f6 here instead of bishop b4. Bishop b4, I was going to play my delayed Leela. I'll show what I'm talking about after the game a little bit. Okay. Okay. What do we got? I like my queen out here. I like my whiskey. Queen g4 allows me to play bishop d3. So queen g4 ties down that bishop, notably. Due to the pressure here, and g6 becomes tough to play because of my handy-dandy h4. h4 is very handy-dandy. Rook h3 is another nice move. I might just play it right now, just for fun. Most logical is this. Bishop e7 is not playable. I would trade and take g7. f6 can't be played. I was trade and give that check, and then there's no block. So then you have to move your king, which isn't fun. So queen needs to move. Queen d7. Presumably they wanted to go this way anyway, so it's not so bad. Then I'd probably castle long. Maybe, actually, after queen d7, I might just play rook h3 for fun. Rook h3, always a useful move. Rook can do a number of things across this third rank. Ooh. Okay. So, takes, check, king d7, check. Check c6 just gives me more problems. So c4 is interesting to me. Takes. Probably also just not the best. So let's give this check. Alright, king d7. I mean, look, I need to prove that there's something wrong with it. It's not obvious. This proof is not obvious. Queen f7, queen e7, queen takes f6. That might just be the best. I don't know, it's just a pawn. Take, rook g8. Kind of lame. But what else do I do? I move my bishop and then there's just queen e8. Again, check c6. What do I do? Here, check. It's not check, but I feel like it is because it hits my queen. Yeah, maybe. Okay, you know, I mean, I know this is the best, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. Come on, that's not what you're watching for. It feels mean. Feels mean. All right, let's try and get this king. Let's just try. King is actually safer than I gave it credit for. What they played might have been very reasonable. I think what we're just going to try to do is just try and castle, maybe put the bishop there, just put our pieces in some good spots. Just try to put our pieces in some good spots. So let's start with a castle. Takes a2, I think just b3, and I will eat it. So that seems like a target. And they're running to b7. I have this check. Bishop b7. They didn't want bishop b7. Seems surprising. This is hanging. Let's develop. Bishop b7, I was probably even maybe just going to come back. I was thinking of even queen b5, shifting all the way across. I have dreams of checkmating here, but this bishop is still on the board. I do like those squares, though. c4 maybe takes, rook h2. Nah. Something there. This is my dream. Boom. But this seems good. Seems like they're playing without this rook. So long as we can hang out right there. c4 might just encourage them to make a good move. Play rook e1. pressure. It was weak, and that does make sense for the pawn structure, but the bishop was right there. Yep, that's rough, that's rough. It's gonna be rough for him. Yep. It was gonna be tough anyway. I was gonna go bishop d2 to put pressure here. For something like that, and c4. Ah, that's the trade you could not make. We were talking about these them light squares. Oh, I can take that too. I got lots of pieces cooking. And looks like we're gonna try and sneak in there. GG, Mr. Random Spicy. What do we got? Couple options. Arctics. Check. Mate. Yeah. What I like about my games is typically all my pieces are doing stuff. For example, even if the queen moves, right? Rook d8 check takes. Good game, Mr. Random Spicy. So, yeah, I was going to take some checkmate there. If not. But yeah, faced an Owen's defense here. I actually thought this position, I think, is quite good for white right out of the opening. Oh, well. Not after what I did. Plus 1.1. And then play queen g4. And then immediately I threw it all away. c5 is a good strike. Strike against here. And then knight c6 comes. And then, yeah, maybe not that easy to defend this stuff. Knight d4. Anything could be bothersome. So queen g4 was not the best move. I feel like maybe I've had this position a couple times. I have. I played bishop g5 last time, which is probably a better choice. Bishop f4 is the best. Anyway, but takes queen g4, d6, bishop g5, f6. So, okay. Bishop e3. Yeah, probably the best choice was queen f7, and then this trade. But it would have just been an endgame. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, look, it could have been a lot worse for black. I do think, yeah, queen e8 has even just suggesting I trade. Yeah, I mean, it sucks going bishop e3 back and then, like, moving another piece backwards. Like, is that really what you want? They can, you know, black can bring out their pieces here, and it could be a lot worse. You do have to be careful of playing knight c6 and cutting off maybe the last route home, but okay, he has other routes, I guess. But yeah, this f6 idea, you know, not bad. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is a really nice way to play against the Owens defense. H4, so that you have e5, and then these pawns can typically lead to some strong attacks over here, so long as you're not just getting hit with c5 quickly. Apparently, otherwise, yeah, the main idea is a Leela gambit, which is featured on my channel. I have this, but for black. So if white starts out with the Nimzo Larsen opening with b1, b3, e5, bishop b2, knight c6, e3, d5, bishop b5, knight e7, takes e5, and then here a6 or a3. Now hitting the bishop. Bishop needs to keep this pin, or else you're losing that, right? So bishop a5, you have b4. Bishop moves away, that's hanging. So they have to take, which is this really lovely recapture. Now hitting that, opening all this, giving you a phenomenal bishop pair. Queen g4 comes, and we have this move h4 included, which you don't in the Nimzo Larsen opening. It would just be with the pawn h2, because it's what the colors reversed. So we're white here, we had an extra move. We made a useful move, which was h4. And which it's quite useful in a lot of lines. You know, for example, if g6 is played, h5 is a good move. It can support the bishop on g5 or h3. But anyway, there's all sorts of fun lines and sacrifices there covered in my Leela Gambit video on my channel. All right, you guys, Tim, Jose, Felix, really appreciate y'all and everybody who stayed to watch. Subscribe. Join. You can find, if you click on my YouTube channel right now, click on the link tree, you can find the full Gambit repertoire, which will teach you how to play all the Gambit openings. To stay up to date, to join the community, great shared games channel and everything, opening ideas, awesome community. Click on the Discord server within that link tree. But yeah, everything's there on the link tree, so click on my YouTube, click on that. Gambit Chaz Rise Up, baby. GCRU.